Hello, everyone. Good afternoon once again to this breakthrough session.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Hello, Dimple. Glad to see you guys on camera. Okay, so how many of you, I know you attended and you saw the recordings. I got some queries as well, the questions which you all had. And the last thing which we had ended the session with was about deciding your writing routine. And how many of you could at least think about that, or maybe, jot it down something that this is how I can go forward? Would love to know your thoughts before we move forward for today's session. Anything which you could brainstorm, maybe did not make a complete, strict writing schedule, but yes, thought about it that this is how the division can be. Who would like to share? Yes,
Just gave a thought to it. What should I be doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, I already have a reading, I mean writing routine. Just like I said to yesterday, I keep writing. Mostly I do journaling, है ना? So I have some sort of idea कि हाँ, sitting is also there. I can sit. I'm capable of that also, and I have that routine also. But the only thing I think note making also I do. I said no. So and writing part is also there, but only the research part that is required for writing a particular book that I have to start.
Wonderful. Great observation. Wonderful. Yes. How about others? Anyone? Or if you already have a writing routine, that also can be shared. Wonderful. Would love to
Uh,
know that.
Can I share something?
Yes, Sienna, please.
So currently I do journal writing every morning.
Hmm.
I don't have a specific format, but I just put down my thoughts on paper.
Hmm.
But I was, and as I read books, I have the habit of taking notes.
Okay.
But I think I need to start like a daily writing habit apart from the journal writing. So that's what I felt after yesterday. I need to start that. Just as you shared that thing about Ankur Warikoo and the others writing blogs, so I can just write small articles and then see how to use them later. So that
Yes.
is one thing that struck me.
Wonderful. Very interesting idea. All right.
Hi,
Yes.
Heena.
Hi, Joy.
Yeah. So I'm yet to see full yesterday's recording, but on
Mhm.
the first half that I looked at, one thing that I would like to share is that I have ideas. So hard to bring them down on paper.
Hmm.
Occasionally, I go into spurts of writing,
Hmm.
and it remains there inside the book. So what I understand is I have to bring that material to
Hmm.
life. But every time I take, the story changes. I mean, like how I had seen it then wouldn't be the way I see it today. So that is something, and it is a lot of discipline. I feel I need to bring in myself to write every day or at least 3 or 4 times a week. That
Yeah.
is something I need to work on, actually. So that is what I want to share right now.
Great
Yeah.
realization. And indeed, and the point that you mentioned that, the story which I have written today will not be this, I will not look at it with the same eye tomorrow. And that's what the evolvement is all about, because till the time it is not on paper, the very famous quote that, a blank page cannot be edited ever. So till the time it is not on paper, no further idea will come up, or no further perspective also will take place, because first that part needs to be out, and then only there will be space for something else to come in. So
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting. And I'm looking forward for your writings, even if it is in social media. Absolutely fine, as Sienna mentioned, that
Yeah.
it can be on social media. Absolutely. What matters is whether you're publishing or not, but you're writing.
The thing is, on social media it becomes very I don't know how to take all the comments,
Hmm.
or the lack of it. It can be
Okay.
both extremes.
Okay.
So that is something that keeps me from putting it on social media, but I think I should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing you can ask yourself is that, um, why are you writing on social media? Is it just to get the comments, or is it just because I want to express? The comments are the second part, like whether they come or not, whether they are good or not, whether they are less or more, that doesn't matter. What matters is I felt like, there was this idea kind of possessing me, and I wanted to just bring it out, and that's what I did. And that's what matters. Like, I go with that approach. There had been times in between where sometimes I went into the rat race and started expecting that, it should be that much of views and all that. Some content has got good views as well, but then I have learned to not make it an expectation that every content of mine will receive the same kind of response. And that response also has been garnered after a long, um, 3-4 years or 5 years of being on social media. After that, if any of my reel or any of my content is crossing 1,000, 2,000, I just keep that in mind, that be grounded, it's okay. Next might not be there, but that's not where I'm coming from. I'm not expressing because I need that outer validation, or only if people are liking, I will be posting. Those who click with my frequency will get click with that content. Otherwise, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. It is a lot of telling ourselves so that we are on that page itself, right?
Yeah.
Before
That's
you
why
put it
that
out there.
exercise of
Yeah.
why, finding your why really matters. Because you have to remind yourself that this is my why, not the other whys which I'm seeing in social media generally, because you are driven by those statistics and reports and views and reels and all that. But the moment you start remembering your why, it's kind of a very strong pillar which you can hold on to. Okay, wonderful.
So
Anyone
why,
else?
I think,
Yes.
why to write on social media will also bring about a lot of authenticity.
Yes, indeed.
Because I think it, number one, deals with your own frustration with the system.
Hmm.
There is a consequence that from the either side of the governance, opposition and government, both will come and threaten you. That's a different story. But yeah, at least you will deal with your. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I got into writing haikus, because uh, there was this kind of an issue. But what I did yesterday was that to fulfill all the four criterias, I reread all the notes, and from the notes I made around 300 and odd words summary for myself.
Wonderful.
And like that syndrome that you mentioned. So I said I exactly did not know what that syndrome meant. So I actually went to a dictionary, online dictionary, found out the meaning, and with an asterisk marks, put that into my content. If you want, I can share that content here on the
Wonderful.
group or
Would love
whatever. I
to.
can mail it to you, whatever.
Yes, yes. Would love to read that. Wonderful.
So that's what I did. And basically, I have a habit of anyway making notes while reading. So what normally happens is that the books have a lot of earlier there used to be highlighter pens, or otherwise there is a pencil mark. But of late I have found transparent sticky notes.
Okay.
Semi-transparent.
Okay.
I make notes, and the minute the note is over, I have a small pocket diary like this.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
make whatever language or script I use, I make notes here. Means it doesn't have to remain in the book. Suppose if I lend my book to you, why would you want to read my comment? I mean, for the very simple reason, because then when you are reading, your thought will get probably influenced or biased.
Right, right. Agree.
So
Agree.
I remove my sticky notes and then lend it to somebody else if somebody promises to return.
Interesting. Interesting.
Otherwise, but yeah, earlier this was a habit. So when I started reading heavily, I think you will see a lot of notes in my old books, which I
Okay.
haven't yet given away.
Right, right. Interesting. Yes, Cheryl.
I have a question where I got stuck. Hi, is that your son?
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
It's not looking very happy. He wants something from you.
He's saying, come to the bedroom, sit there and take class.
He only wants attention.
I'm coming. 5 minutes, wait. I will come and take class from there. Yes.
No worries. So the question I had was, or probably where I was stuck was on the research, right?
Mhm.
Well, I do understand its importance, relevance, all of that. The question is that, like I shared, it's me wanting to share my experiences with the knowledge I have as to how could I, as a child, have managed some things. Let's use that as an example. So when does one, what do you recommend is, hey, this is a good time, you must stop. If you haven't looked at research or you haven't looked at it for a while, this is what you must do because, there is, it is important, it has relevance. And how often, or is there a way to do it? What would you recommend there?
The research part, right?
Yes, please.
So what do I generally do with the people who come to me is we divide it into, I don't ask them to write every single day. I tell them their books also. So I tell them that divide your writing routine in a way that you can read the books also. Like Joy has been there, Sihana has been there. And I had recommended few books to them every time they came to me. And so it was a division. All I wanted that I gave them a date that at this date, I want story number 1. At this date, I want story number 2. It depends on you whether you're writing in one shot or whether you are writing, because I don't want to impose my writing routine on you. Be at ease, just make sure that you're reading and writing together, so that when they're reading, the research part is also happening along with that, so
Okay.
that we don't waste our times in, because generally what happens is research often becomes an excuse at times. I'm not saying in terms of Neelkanth's matter, because there the mythology part definitely needs a lot of research, so
Correct.
there it's an exception. But generally what happens is people are like, oh, I need to research for 5 books and then only I can write my own. So
Okay.
in order to ensure that doesn't happen, I include it in that only.
Okay. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Most
And
welcome.
you definitely have you don't get bothered. So your son has made a lot of attempts.
Yeah. No,
And I
no,
can
just
see
give me
you
5 minutes. I'll change my
do
place
please
and
do
I'll
that,
resume.
please. No worries.
All right. Sorry for this mini cute break. I'm back here. And okay,
No
patience has
worries.
worked as a great key to anyone and any and every happy relationships. Yes, I guess that was in context with my son.
Right. She was saying now that you don't get bothered. So
Yeah. Yeah. So generally, like since he doesn't speak, he's a neurodivergent kid. So so he tells me by gestures that you come and I'll not sleep without you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Okay, so yesterday was complete a writer's mindset, and today we are focusing on core book part. Okay, so I will help you to dig down a bit deeper about your book. Maybe you're currently writing, not writing. Maybe you have an idea and you were just thinking that it's simmering in my head and there's nowhere to go. Or maybe you've already written a book. You can use the same questions and apply it there to get more clarity about your book. So it can be applied in any phase of your writing, whether it's a pre-writing or you've already done writing. It might be a story also, that's totally fine. So these questions will be implementable to every phase, whichever you want to touch upon. But it will help you definitely to know your book better, to understand it from the point of view of an entrepreneur. And that's what we are going to do. Just let me start the screen sharing. Okay. So the very first thing is the idea to book. This is not a map, but yes, a collection of questions which we will discuss here. So basically the core idea. If you cannot define your book's idea in one line, you don't know your book well. Because we can define it in multiple lines, multiple paragraphs, and if I ask you to write it in, a page full of that, that can happen. But to know it fully, that uh, if I'm given a challenge of just, giving it in 6 words or maybe a sentence, that's the main thing that's kind of gives you a lot more clarity about what my book is about or where is it going. One sentence summary of your book. What can that be? So quickly, if you have any idea, you can share it. If you don't have, think about it, some idea which is simmering in your head. If you're writing a book on that, what can be that one-line summary for your book? Consider it as a tagline, title and the subtitle. When you say the subtitle, that's a one-line subtitle. So what can that be for your book? Some examples I can give is when I was writing my fourth book, The Writer's Code, it was the subtitle was The Gospel for Budding Writers. And that was the only thing which came to my mind, even when I was thinking about defining it in one line. Instead of gospel, I was just thinking it's a Bible. So I just changed the word with gospel. So that was defining the very core of the book, that it's for the beginners and whatever queries they have in their mind, and they will learn from there. So what is that one sentence summary of your book? Can you define it in one sentence? A self-help journey for 2-year-olds. Wow, very interesting, because 2-year-olds is a eye-catching thing for people. And you can think of not just one, maybe define it in 5 different lines in 5 different ways. Now, once Cheryl has defined it from a kid's point of view, if the same book you want to define it from parental point of view, how would that be as an introduction of one line? Dr. Sukhmeet says language of leadership, very interesting. The reason why I asked you to have not just one type of core idea, but different ones, because we can look at it from different target audience. Cheryl's target audience basically is our kids, but obviously the 2-year-olds will be reached by the parents only. We can reach to them by the parents, right? So there, if you have to sell it to parents, what can be the other tagline? So think of 3, 4. Joy says memories of a self-conscious teen. Wow, interesting. Neelkanji says, I had a haiku in Gujarati that triggered the story. Very interesting. So you can maybe, type the haiku or maybe one line of summary for that.
So from the parents' perspective, could it be something like it becomes longer? I'm trying to. So your 2-year-old's emotional management journey, or
Yes, yes.
something
Wonderful.
like that. Okay.
Still one sentence, so absolutely fine. Oh, okay. I cannot read Gujarati. प्रतीक्षा मुझे समझ में आ रहा है, but I cannot read complete Gujarati. Yeah, it would be great if you can, please, sir. All right, so all are done. Meanwhile, sir is typing. All are done with the core idea. Next is keep writing if you haven't written, because that's going to help you to give a lot more clarity. Even if you are not at a juncture of that, I'm going to write a book after this, something will simmer up from this. Okay, expansion. The next is, who is it for? Basically, your target reader. And why does it matter? Why this message, the core idea, matters to you? And you can divide this part into 2. Why does it matter to you? And why does it matter to them, to your reader? So there are 3 parts of this expansion. Who is it for? Means who is going to read this? Why does it matter for you that this message reaches them? And why does it matter to them that they should be reading this? Who is ready to share?
Sure, I can.
Yes, share.
Thank you. My book is for parents of children aged 2 to 4 to help them guide their children to identify their emotions as well as how to be able to manage them with a few quick tools or tips, right? It would matter to the parent because this would be another way that they can help their children manage emotions other than really being happy. And it matters to me is because, like I said yesterday, I wish I was exposed to this when I was in this particular age group. I think it has a cascading effect.
And in fact, this part surely do mention in the preface that I wish I was there, and after reading this, every parent would wish the same, that wish this was available to us. And just a tagline that came to my mind after listening to you, that because emotional education doesn't need a schooling, or maybe it starts from home.
Right. Thank you. That's nice.
Most welcome. Love means waiting on the other bank of the river. Vaitarni is a mythical river that separates the land of the dead from the land of living beings. Wow, very interesting. Yes, Dr. Supni.
So it's for middle to senior leaders of the organizations. Why is it important to, first I'll talk about me, because because it's very important for me to put forward my thoughts, how I can be of help to them through my knowledge and experience that I have gained and over the years. And for them, it would be important because it would be more like a solution-oriented approach towards their teams, their colleagues, their subordinates in the organization.
Okay, very interesting. So you are into leadership by any chance?
Yeah, so I'm a medical doctor by profession. I'm a psychologist and I'm an international coach. I'm an NLP master trainer, emotional intelligence coach. So I work very closely with the corporates. I do a lot of training. I have my NLP batches, all of that. And so I just feel, of course, I have been coaching a lot of senior leaders of the organization. So I come across a lot of, issues that they come up with. I'm surprised, at that stage, everything seems so sorted. CEO hai, MD hai, so everybody feels things are very sorted, but there aise nahi hai, there's too much of shattering there as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very, it is at a very personal level and it's affecting the professional level big time.
Indeed.
And sometimes it's lack of understanding of their teams. But they all know, they would have attended thousands of trainings in their entire, tenure. However, application, empathy pata, emotional intelligence pata, but where and how they have been implementing it is
huge gap over there.
Yeah. So my experience has been is topmost wale sab, they're all good and quite sorted and they're quite grounded. The lowest are any which ways grounded because they know they don't have that much of a power to change things. So beach wale na wohi mess karte hain zyada. That's been my experience. I mean, I may be varied. So I just want to do something like that. Write something. In fact, I wanted to share that I have 2 books. One is almost complete. And I've done it with the help of AI. I attended a workshop. Did it in one day. All day morning I sat and I finished it like late night, like a marathon thing. I was all into it, but honestly, I didn't feel only that connect.
Yeah, that's what happens with AI.
Yeah, so I didn't. So that's why, yesterday when you put that post, I so resonated because even I was asked to speak once on AI and I said, an AI will never be able to tell you how you really feel
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Indeed.
so when you said the AI doesn't bleed, it's so true. It's so damn true.
Indeed, indeed, I agree. And in fact, it just came to my mind while we were talking that this 5 love languages. Maybe you can come up with 5 leadership languages or something like that. And
Yeah, yeah. I
there's
could
a
do that.
concept is same, but definitely all your
True.
perspective over there.
Yep, yep. I'll make a note of it for sure.
Yeah.
So in fact, I wanted to keep it lol, the lol way.
Wow.
Language of leadership.
Yes, lol. Very
Because
interesting.
it's so
Accurate.
a slang, WhatsApp slang, lol, laugh
Yeah.
out loud, aloud. But then I wanted to just have another meaning to it.
Wonderful. Very impressive. Okay, who wants to share?
Thank you, Dimple.
Heena,
Yes, Joy.
mine would be like a memoir. So it would be for like young adults or someone, closer towards their middle age. And the reason why it matters to me is I wish to share my experience. And my
Wonderful.
experience is not unique, it is something everyone has. But sometimes we forget to, move on or leave the baggage, which is what happens with many, not with everyone, but with many.
Yeah.
The reason why it matters to others is to know that it happens to everyone around you in some way or the other. So, no need to beat yourself up and stay there. It's always important to lift yourself and move on. So it's more like a motivating kind of a thing. That's the it is not a single line, but it's a big paragraph right now. But that's the best way I can express this.
Yes, yes. Yes, very wonderful. Like, I think we don't even realize that there's a baggage, and all we can say is that, my shoulders are heavy all the time. And then maybe,
Yeah.
something or the other comes up. For some, the course makes them realize, for some, something else, for some, it's a mentor, or like, there is a
Huh.
turn point in maybe in form of a person or a book or a course, but yes, that shift comes, and then we realize कि why the shoulders were heavy.
True, true.
Dr.
Yeah.
Satya has given you a compliment that you have such childlike cute voice.
Thank you. Not very child. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sutmit.
Okay, who is on toes to share their book idea? And that's how when you share, it develops even more. Okay. If anything you can tell me, we move on to the next part. The promise part. What are you promising there? What is that the reader will get in the end? Do you promise that? Promise can be in terms of emotions, that these are the emotions that they will be getting. You may not declare it openly that after reading my book, you will feel happy. You can say that you will feel relieved or something. What other things, what benefits? It may be a psychological benefit, it may be a spiritual benefit, it may be a emotional benefit, it may be a financial benefit, if the book is on finance or somewhere related with anything. So list down the promises. Those promises, again, maybe physical promise, emotional promise, spiritual promise, psychological promise. What all things you can come up with? Because from here, it's easy to pitch your book. It's easy to dig a bit deeper into your index part as well, because the more you will dig deeper into this promise, the index will expand. Okay, if I'm including a psychological part here, is the index resonating with that part? Especially like if you're writing a non-fiction, or even if it is a memoir, the same thing applies. So what are you promising?
I think in my story, I'm promising a love story, which is always very thin, but with the element of tragedy and being togetherness.
Okay, okay. So it's a happy love story, sad love story, or a cliffhanger
No,
story?
it depends, because
Acha,
I
open
mean,
it.
as the poem says that It's the eternal wait across the river. So one is dead and one is not. That much I can give you the plot. That's what the whole story is all about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
So
might be.
that two people can be anything. The two living beings can be anything. A man and a dog, a woman and a dog, two women, two men, two
Yes.
trees, whatever. I think it's a universal sense of belonging to each
Yeah.
other. And of
Right.
course, the rendezvous can be anywhere.
Yes,
In
yes.
this case, it is that mythical river.
Very interesting.
I want to tell something to doctor after the class is over about her psychological background and the corporate middle management level, because I have passed through it in my
Yeah.
40 years. But doctor, please read Jain philosophy as a philosophy, not as a ritual, and with the emphasis on anekantavad.
Okay.
Please say that again.
Anekantavad means the
Anekantvad.
it means if I want to translate in English, it means it very loosely means there are multiple approaches to the same truth.
Anek, yeah,
Like say, if I just give you a 30 seconds, this is a black color fountain pen. So you will say this is not a ballpoint pen. Dimple will say this is not a red color fountain pen. She will say somebody else will say it's not a pencil. So everybody has a different point of view, and yet everybody is right.
Right. Correct.
So I wish I knew this philosophy when I was in the corporate prison. I would have really liberated not only me others.
I like the metaphor.
Yeah, I think I was advised to copyright it, but since I was not going to write anything on corporate because of the secrecy, you don't say what you did in your corporate life. So two things I can share that I learned to write emails.
Yeah. Wonderful.
सिर्फ मिच्छामी दुक्कड़म बोल देना चाहिए.
No, so that's what I'm saying. If you study this, Aneka, even read it casually, I'm telling you,
I will.
book will get a very different dimension, and especially
Definitely.
skill management.
Sure. I will go.
Sorry, I hope I did not digress.
No, absolutely.
No,
And
no,
that's the beauty of writing with a group.
Because that's what I also have. I also study philosophy as philosophy. I'm not a ritualistic person at all. I follow a philosophy, whichever it is.
So if I may, Nilkanji, it's not just, I mean, it's nice that you say that. And since we have a couple of NLP practitioners here, including myself, one is we always know that the map is not the territory. If you look at 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it's the
Correct.
same thing. So, and that really is one thing that I keep in mind. I'm writing the book because I'm seeing it from clarity from my perspective. So I keep questioning. When somebody else reads it, will they still see it that way? Will it still be that important? Will it still? So you're bang on, and I think it's very relevant that you brought it in. Thank you.
So with the perspective of Anekantavad, you firstly accept that everybody is right.
Yes.
I mean, and then you say, okay, now let's see the most right solution to a particular problem or a particular situation. How best you describe it, how best you address it.
Correct. Yes, and that's the tough one.
So that's what I'm saying, that if I could practice it in the boardrooms when I was in that, I would have maybe broken all the HR records. But I was on customer service, so which helped me a lot because customer was always right for me.
Right.
Whether customer was actually wrong or not, but he was still right.
Indeed. So all these are like intersecting the NLP and the Anekantvad. And in fact, a similar book on this, which I could recall, was Change Your Questions, Change Your Life. That's a book on by Merrill Adams, and she's into, I forgot the basic term, but yes, she's at a high level part where the questionology is the model, and she has depicted that model in the book through a story, that how somebody loses a job and then how the person gets back on track with the help of this questionology. Same thing, that there's not one single solution. The core of that is that, and then there are different questions and models and part of that, and that's how the person reaches to a solution.
Exactly. Coaching is also all about questions.
Exactly. Indeed.
So may I just share the promise that I want to put down here?
Yes, yes, please.
One, I've already said that it will be more of an action-oriented or a solution-oriented approach. The leaders could turn around as an emotional intelligent leader, and they will receive neuro coaching as a tool, which will help them make their teams or other organizations more productive, prosperous, and peaceful.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
अभी तो interesting लग रहा है, book आने के पता चलेगा.
It will be aligned with that because
Yeah, I want it to be, definitely.
I mean, somebody just mentioned, I think Cherry just mentioned about the Stephen Covey, 7 habits. Habit number 7, begin with the end in mind. You've already reached what you want to give.
Yes.
You got it?
Yes. Indeed. Daisy is also sharing the same. I wish I knew this before when I was in corporate. Interesting. Okay, so who else wants to share the promises of your book idea? What all do you promise?
Actually, earlier I was thinking of, I would have probably refrained from sharing, but when I feel strongly, when I share, it's more like a commitment that I'm making to myself and with the group.
Yes, yes.
So that's why I just went.
That's also one of the very first or second practice which we do when we get into book coaching. I tell them, first declare you are an author. Second, declare that you are coming up with a book on social media. So that I personally take it as I have declared it to the world. I have a responsibility, and it is one way of setting up the accountability for yourself.
अब तो करनी ही पड़ेगी.
हाँ, अभी बोल दिया, अभी 2-4 लोगों ने पूछ लिया तो अभी क्या?
इज्जत दांव पे लगी है.
Yes.
Heena,
yes,
this promise is different from your why it should matter to them. Is it?
Why it should matter to them is a superficial part of that, where you can say that it matters for them. Like for Cheryl's book, we can say that because parents know that how emotional education starts at home, and it's their responsibility rather than thinking that school will do everything.
Correct.
So that's a superficial part. But when we go deeper, how parents will get benefited from this? It's not just the child that will get benefited. The bond between parent and the child will get benefited.
Okay.
The spiritual part, she can look into that, what all things can be benefited, or maybe the emotional part, the psychological part, both for the kids and for the parents, because the kid is getting educated on the education, on the emotional education, right? So similarly, you reflect it deeper in terms of, like Cheryl's book has 2 target audience. One is the parent and one is the kid. So turning out the benefits for both of them would help her, and also while pitching the book and everywhere, like it helps you to churn out your index well and all that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't gotten a promise for this, but hopefully in some time I'll be able to get a promise for what I am thinking.
Memoir, right? So somewhere what I see is that, first of all, maybe the flexibility, the curiosity part, I don't know what the story is about. I'm just guessing in that it might be about like being flexible or being curious about at that age, what is actually required at that age, that maintaining that connection with the kid, making them feel secure enough to, talk it out, or feel safe enough to express that, because generally they recoil themselves in that age. Right? So what, maybe if it is a parent oriented part, or it is just what a teen can do for themselves, it is centered on that. So the promise will depend on that part. Is it just
on that
teens are doing the things for themselves, then it would have different kind of promises. If it is on the parents think that parents should be doing this, then it would have different promises.
Okay. Yeah, that gives me some clarity now, like how I can go about it.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Most welcome. Who else wants to share before we move forward? Dimple says unstable network. Okay, wonderful, Dimple. Check on the recording then. All right. So, okay, let's move forward to the next part. problem. So what is rather than thinking about where do I start, if there is this part, start with the problem. In fact, all of you, including Joy, Cheryl, Neelkanji, I'm sure, and Dr. Sukhmeet also, if 4 of you have shared your book idea, it definitely started with a problem, that this is the problem I'm seeing in the world and I want to address that, right? So knowing that problem matters not only because you are, it will help you to dig deeper down, but also to, ask this question in several ways to people that, are you even aware about this problem? Like in 2-year-old case, like most of them would not have given a thought about the emotional education part. It's just raising the child well, and the child should be physically healthy, and ठीक है थोड़ा सा घर का संस्कार होना चाहिए, that थोड़ा बहुत but हाँ 2 years के age पे still they would not go bit deeper. ठीक है, let them be. But how you can have that balance about sincerity and playfulness together and blend it that way that the child gets it and it doesn't become a burden for the child and also as for the parent, right? So what is that one line problem which you see that you're going to solve in this book? Okay, it may be not one problem, it may be 2-3 of them related to the same thing, but as precise as you can be, as crystal clear as you can be, so that you have a very crystal clear problem in front of you.
That's a good question because it's making me think and really, probably I'm not articulating it as well right now, however, but the problem that I would try to solve in this case is for the parent to have a better relationship with their child, a calmer relationship with their child, and allowing space for the child to also express what they feel. Yeah.
Interesting. Wonderful. Yes. Meanwhile, you're sharing your answers. One example is there. Suppose there's a book on emotional healing for ambitious women. The expansion would be, who will be reading that? Working women, because it's for ambitious women, specific category. Why? Because there is a burnout epidemic out there. And the promise would be, maybe if you're offering a framework, that can also be a promise. So suppose one promise would be behind the scenes, where that it's a psychological promise, it's that promise, it's that promise. And the other one which you will be talking about, my 5-step this work, or like we just talk about Sukhmeet, Dr. Sukhmeet's book, where we were talking about maybe it may be 5 languages of leadership. So that will be something which she will be pitching on. That would be official part to talk about. So that way you can divide it into core idea, expansion, and promise. The problem would be for you. You will be pitching it in some way or the other, that this is the problem, but these are the main parts which you can start your book idea with. So what is the problem? Who would want to share?
May I?
Yes, Doctor.
I just let me know if it sounds all right, because I've just written what came to my mind. Handling and creating more accountable teams. Second is walking the talk. And third is creating more leaders.
Okay.
When I say creating more leaders, as in, I just feel they are very insecure of creating. I believe leadership is all about creating more leaders so that you kind of leave the legacy behind. But I see a lot of insecurities. There is, it's not unconditional, it's all, I see a lot of insecurities in people when they have to pass on it's like, I'll give you an example metaphorically. Suppose there's a surgeon He has to, and there are some other, say suppose there's an orthopedic surgeon and he's operating, and there are other orthopedic surgeons who want to learn from him. So he will probably, they'll see the entire surgery, but there will always be one master tip or two master tips, or as many, there's a surgeon specific style or that master tip, which will really give them a successful edge over others.
Correct.
Not everybody shares that. I've worked with somebody who would readily share it. However, I see this I could just correlate it in the corporate world as well. That those master tips, those, that which will give you an edge over others, those are not shared or not taught to the juniors easily.
Right. Yeah. So that's where the insecurity comes from. Yes. Very, very relatable, I would say.
I don't know whether I should change it. I just wrote what came to my heart. I mean,
but you wrote 3 things, right? So basically it's about creating more leaders, and those leaders should be able to create better teams, is what you want to say. And the third one was?
Walking the talk.
Walking the talk, again for the leaders only, right?
Yeah. They should, I believe, it's like parenting, our children don't want to listen to Gyan. They will exactly follow what we are doing.
Exactly. They follow us.
Yeah, so that's what walking the talk, more than sitting and give. If I'm on my phone all the time, I cannot stop my child from being on the phone.
Exactly.
There is no alignment only. मैं
Yes.
बोल कुछ और रही हूँ और कर कुछ और रही हूँ. So it says, so I want to put forward that alignment, that inside out alignment, wherein you are what you are talking, you're walking the talk, and you are passing on such a legacy to your team, wherein they will always look up to you, and they will also follow those things and pass on further as well.
Okay.
I don't know whether I'm able to put it across well, but
yes, very interesting. And one more thing which came to my mind, I was editing one of somebody from California, and she is writing a book on agile leadership. I guess that's her own concept or not. I don't remember that, but yes, I edited that book. So how about coming up with a term like that, maybe conscious leadership or something?
Yeah, I was thinking of conscious parenting when she was talking about parenting, the conscious parent, exactly.
Yeah.
The conscious parent, it came to me, TCP, when she was talking about parenting wala book.
Okay,
Sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, very interesting. So something because what will happen, leadership, there are many books out there, but the edge which you can create with using just a word, and then, building a framework or something around that, because I'm sure you will have some tips and tricks over there, and then you can build a framework around that. And when you present it in that way, people, जैसे ही वो agile leadership का book आया ना, सबसे पहले तो I was like, what is this agile leadership? मतलब वहीं पे अटक गया कि I want to understand that first. ठीक है, leadership तो I know, but what is different there? So that's what one word sometimes can bring a lot of difference, especially when it comes to corporate, because all other things have already been there. They are already tired of all this. But if you bring up something which turns their heads, so you can think about that.
Sure.
Most welcome. Dr. Neelkant sir says, I once read a research paper on emotional hygiene or emotional cleansing. A 2-year-old is aware of oral, physical, and overall hygiene, but is the child aware of his emotional dirt? Yes. Very.
Also, I can just, while I was reading Mr. Mehta's message, there is this Milton Erickson's stages of development for children. Maybe Cheryl can include that. It'll be an amazing correlation, and it will, as a psychologist, I mean, I can also pitch in here that it will give her an added edge as to how, when certain stages are unresolved, how they can be taken care of as a parent later on.
Wow.
Thank you.
Seriously, I mean, it just popped up, so I thought I'll.
Wow, wonderful. Great, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, anything else coming to your mind when we talk about the problem? Another way to look at it, like Joy said that I'm yet not there. Maybe you can think about what's getting solved with this book. Okay, one part is definitely you're sharing your story, but definitely the reason why you're sharing your story, you know that, somewhere it is going to help somebody. What is that kind of help? What exactly that help is about? Okay, Janvi, she's currently writing a book on fitness and working women's brain fog and simplifying hormones ups and downs. Interesting, wonderful. So you are then hitting on the problems, and this ups and downs it's something which hardly any of us. I think at least I was not aware till the time I got into our coaching that it's so many things that are connected over there. It's just simply getting up in the morning and having that good mood, and that also depends a lot on the kind of food you are eating and the kind of hygiene you are taking care of yourself. And so yes, Erickson stages of memory. Okay, all right. Okay, so we move forward with that. Next is the phases of writing. How many phases of writing do you think? I'm sure many of you are already aware of. We'll just discuss about them a bit. When you write a book, what are the phases? Yes, Dr.
So when there are just thoughts in your mind, you just want to put it across. So I think that is the thinking phase.
Yes.
Then second would be probably when you have framed some kind of an outline of what your book wants to convey. Okay, I mean, I don't know any protocol. May I see whatever is coming? I'm just putting it across. Third is when so when you have then you develop the content.
Yes.
Okay, then you are you want to add certain elements like, say, pictures, metaphors, stories, more examples. Then comes the editing part, and then comes the publishing part.
Wonderful, wonderful, great, awesome. Any more inputs from anyone? Okay.
I think there is an iterating cycle
Our stages
between
of
the
writing.
ideation and when you are writing the first or the second or the third draft. Suppose you first doctor said that ideation means you create an idea and then you start writing, just writing you start. But I think from the idea to the writing, I think there are a lot of iterating. That's what I feel normally.
Yes.
Because my first writing is never the final draft. I think I have to go through, I think, number of them. And since I'm somebody who writes physical, that is paper and a pen, 2-3 drafts are on the paper, and then finally I type. And still there are, edits and change and maybe different word or the correct spelling or the grammar and all that.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So I think one is a very iterating loop, I believe.
Yes. And that's somewhere in between, converting that first draft into the second one and then the final one. So turning a draft into a manuscript. Cool. So the first one, as Dr. Sukhmeet also rightly mentioned, that's brainstorming. Under brainstorming, that just a simmering idea and nowhere on the paper, that also comes. Under brainstorming, that, okay, I'm attending this workshop, maybe let me just give it a shot. That also comes. Under brainstorming, you answering these questions today also comes because somewhere you have given it a thought. Maybe you have started, maybe you are in the middle, maybe you are already get the ball rolling, or maybe you haven't even started, but just today, just for the sake of this workshop, you're just thinking, okay, let me give it a shot, maybe something comes up. So all that is under brainstorming. Apart from that,
sorry, Heena, just 1 second. I think the very fact that we are all here attending the workshop also itself is a part of brainstorming.
Indeed. That's a step you're taking, that there is something simmering.
To materialize it.
Yes. So, and you're talking with a friend, what, I'm just thinking of writing a book, or talking with a family member. All that comes into brainstorming, because whether you're journaling about it, whether you're coming to attend a workshop, whether you're answering the questions, you're taking a step, and that is getting cultivated into the next step for sure. So that is all under the brainstorming part. Now, when people come to me, some come with this idea that, Heena, I want to write a book. I don't know what I want to write. So I have those kind of people also. Heena, I've started writing the book. I just want your guidance over there. Some people are like, I want to write a book. I know this is somewhere around this I want to write, but I don't know what details I can put into that. Maybe it's just a book on emotional education or something, and I don't know where to go forward from there. I don't know the target audience and all that part. So all these are brainstorming only. Just having this thought that I want to write a book is also part of brainstorming. Okay, so it's basically about collecting ideas. Itna abhi, this surge is coming up. I want to express. There has to be something. That's where the brainstorming comes into the scene. Where yesterday Nutanji was saying that I've written poems in Marathi, and it is high time that I write something else, and that's also brainstorming. Next is structuring your book. Okay, so here, this part where you're answering all the questions, target audience, what is the problem, what are the, solutions which you are giving, what are the benefits, what's the promise, all that is kind of giving a structure to your book. It will give you a lot of ideas from here to moving to the index and to moving to the final chapters. So that all comes under structuring the book. There are frameworks. We include the indexing part over there. We decide a rough index, and then we refine the index, and then we do all the, or what all books we are inspired from. Okay, I want to talk about that framework. I want to talk about this. All that comes under structuring the book. Basically, making a mind map of the book, you can say. Okay. It also includes chapter outlining. So all that part till the time you're done with the final index. That okay, my index is completely done. I'm ready to write now. Now next step would be to write my first chapter, because I have the chapter outline also ready. All that comes under structuring. Then comes the drafting, which is the main part of writing, where you write the chapters. You make the very first draft, which is the messiest, roughest part, which gives you the ultimate level of self-doubt that I don't know what I'm going to do with that. So all that is part of drafting, because that time it's just draft are meant to be messy. And that's where many people get stuck, that I don't know what am I writing. I don't know how this will make sense, because, and then I tell them the draft doesn't has to make sense. It's a nonsense thing, but till the time that nonsense doesn't happen, you cannot make a sense out of it. So you have to bring it on paper. Yesterday, I used a term of vomit it on the paper, and then later on, we will see what thing comes where. And trust me, when you start writing, you'll realize that was so much. In fact, in the structuring part itself, you'll realize that there's so much I already have in my mind. It was just that, it was remaining to be on the paper. So with zero judgment, we just write. And the faster you finish your draft, that's the trick to the whole writing. The faster you finish your draft, the faster you finish your book, because the first draft is the toughest part. That's where all the self-doubt, all the judgment from ourselves come into the scene. And once we conquer that, uske baad to anyway, that, it will be edited, I will be refining it, or I'll be, making the second draft of that. So, and there will be a lot of iterations that will be happening. So after that, you're at a better place emotionally, that, okay, fine, now it is taking shape. And then you can see, not just the skeleton of the book, but the fleshes are getting to filled up now. And that comes the revising part, as I said, from first draft to the iterations, which Neil Kansar was also talking about, that draft and then revision. Up that revision depends how many revisions you want to take. Again, the balance comes into the scene here, that, not doing so many revisions that you are stuck in the revisions and it took a whole lot of year to get the book out. But also not so less that, okay, I don't need any revision, or it's just fine, मैं grammarly करके और publish कर देती हूँ. So not even that. So just bringing, maybe, I will do 2 rounds of editing, or max to max 2 rounds from the editor and 1 round from myself. That I will do. Maybe most at max, I will include a beta reader over there. I'll send it to them and I'll get their views also. And that's it. So revising and making it the final manuscript. Then comes the editing. So the revising part could be the revising and the editing part would be actually, it goes combinedly, that you are writing, the editor is there, or the book coach is there, or if you have hired an editor, they send you the revisions, and the editing part happens after the revision is done, and then finally we edit it more. We look at it from the structural way. There are 4 types of editing which happens: the line editing, the copy editing, the developmental editing, and the proofreading part. So proofreading is generally commas and all that part. The part which matters here are the 3 other types of editing which is done: the copy editing and the line editing and the developmental editing. My core focus is majorly on the structural part and the copy edit part. That's where we see, look at it from the storyteller's point of view, whether it's a fiction or a non-fiction, how we can bring that storytelling into the scene. And this is the phase where after this, your book will be an unfinished manuscript, unfinished because there is a typesetting which remains to be done. So unfinished in that way. Otherwise, editing wise, if editing is done, it means your book is proofread there. After that, no proofreading is also needed. So editing has to be the final polishing of clarity and impact. Okay. And before that, between the editing and the publishing, there's this typesetting, which is to make your book print ready. So the margin settings and all that. Sometimes people hire it and get it done. These days there are softwares as well where you just copy paste and the things get done over there. So it depends whether you want to do it by yourself or whether you want to hire. But the typesetting happens and then the publishing happens. Publishing there are 2 types of publishing that happens. One is the traditional publishing and another one is the self-publishing. Traditional में big names which you have heard of: Rupa Publications, Penguin, Hatchet India, Bloomsbury Outside. Okay, so all these are big names in the publication industry. These are traditional publishers. Now the difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing is the single difference, if I say in one line, is that traditional publishers pay the author. They know that the author has a lot of value, the author has a lot of following, the author is will be able to give us the kind of profit which we are looking for. And that's why they don't charge the author a single penny. They, in fact, offer the royalty in advance, like for Ankur Warikoo or all the big shots over there, they're paid in advance because they know that they have a huge following, and whatever expenses are coming for the publishing, that can be covered up with the sales. So, and good part about traditional publishing is because of the kind of reputation it has. Okay, I'm traditionally published. And yes, since they focus on the quality, it's more of the kind of editing that goes inside, or the cover qualities are there, which are something where people aim for. However, there are few drawbacks as well. In terms of drawbacks, when I say there is a lot of waiting for traditional publishing that happens. So sometimes it ranges from 1 year to 2 years to get your book published. So they first of all will take 3 months to get back to you regarding your mail, whether that was good or not, or that's even acceptable or not. And then they ask you to send the whole draft over there. And so basically it's about that if you can wait that long. One of my clients was very patient. In fact, I myself am not that patient that I wait for 2 long years for my book to get published. So I never even gave a shot to traditional publishing. But she was very patient. It's been like now 2 years, and now her book. She last time when I asked her, she said that yes, they are taking it up and it will be published soon, but no news after that. So it's a bit of long wait is one thing. And secondly, it's a bit to get inside as well, because they have this benchmark. When you fill up the form, they give you the form and they ask you what is your following, and they filter you there, because they also need a assurance that the person, if we are investing on somebody, if we are bidding on somebody, we have to get the profit back. Okay, so this is how the traditional publishing works. Self-publishing, all these, I would not say small ones, but apart from these ones, there are good setups where self-publishing happens. And there are many names out there, like Notion Press is one of the very known names where self-publishing happens, where the DIY self-publishing also is there.
Please repeat the name, no?
Notion.
Notion.
Yeah. So Notion Press is there. There is Half Baked Beans is there. In traditional publishing, there are so many. Like I don't recall every name, but the ones which I have somewhere worked with and have done some, sent my clients, and also I know only those names. There is one by Paper Towns, whom I've got one of my books published from. So the thing about self-publishing is that you can publish it by yourself. But author has to give the amount for the publishing, which differs from publication to publication. Basically, the basic amount which they charge is to list your book on Amazon, where they have the Amazon seller account and they list it for you. Other book coaches which I've seen is that they also teach you to open the Amazon seller account, and you upload your book by yourself and you get the amount there, but still it's not the complete amount that you get. Amazon deducts the amount and then you get a part of it to your account, right? I don't get into the nitty-gritties because I don't hail from that part where you will have to pack this and do that. I don't get into that part. So generally people do that. Sometimes there is another option which people are doing these days. They are directly going to the printers, not having any publishers in between, and they directly go to the printers and there they make a deal about it. And definitely the printing cost is lesser. If a publication is charging you 100 200 rupees per book, the printer will give you in 40 to 70 80 rupees per book printing. So that's how, but again, the books will come to you and every time you will have to pack it. Rest all things are better because you get the money in your pocket, but you'll have to do constant shipping and all that. If you're ready for that, that's a wonderful option to opt for. So that's about the publishing part. Sharing means a lot of book marketing. I'll soon be announcing a session on book marketing as well, because that's a whole together gamut of very different kind of technicalities. So we'll be taking up that soon, next week for sure. So the simplest part which you can do in pre-writing era also is to keep writing on social media, not maybe related to your book, but something which is related to whatever you like. And that's where the author branding comes into the scene. Now, can anybody tell me what's the difference between author branding and book marketing? Not the ones who are already under my coaching because they know it.
I would guess author branding is, I'm going with the cue that you said that you should, write on social media. So when you're in that sense organically creating a following and creating a brand for yourself, if people are following you or sharing what you have put up there, is that means you're already creating that voice for yourself and you're getting to be known for that particular topic versus using other methods to market. I would assume that's the difference.
Okay. All right. What about anybody else? So author branding is just like, if I give an analogy, it would be your Aadhaar card. So Aadhaar card just tells your number, but your Aadhaar card also tells it's your identification number. Now this identity is related to many things, bank accounts, this, that, so many things, right? Security and all that part. So author branding is all about who you are as a person. It's not related to your book. It's just you and your thoughts on anything. Like me as an author, I might be writing most books about writing, or I love writing short stories. But who am I beyond that? I'm a mother of a neurodivergent kid, so I can talk about that. I am a very enthusiastic practitioner of spirituality, so I'm a Reiki master level, and I'm learning Akashic records and all that. So I can talk about that. I can include the energy part in book writing, which I'm doing these days. So when you present yourself as a human being, there's no particular topic, you become the brand. It's nothing like your book is the brand here, but you become the brand. Whereas when it comes to book marketing, your book is your brand. So that's the difference. So author branding is something which will happen for lifetime. Even when you're not showing up on social media, that's your author branding, that this author never comes on social media. So that's the brand you're creating. And the book marketing will be totally centric on your book, talking about book related topics, telling it in different ways. In author branding, you talk about whatsoever you want to, just being authentic out there so that the right people and the same frequency people will connect with you. Okay. So with, it's just like, a cooking meal. I had added an analogy here also. It's like just cooking a meal where you follow a sequence. It's not just about, sabzi kaat di to khana ban gaya. But you follow a sequence, and the sequence is that keep on doing author branding. You never know when you are going to write a book, but at least be present on social media, express on social media. And it's up to you when the book is coming out. The book will call you for sure. It's like you don't write a book, the book writes you. So definitely that will happen. Okay. Next is reader-centric lens, where one part is that we write for it. It is said that you write for yourself, but when you write for yourself and you are presenting the book in the market, you think about the readers as well. It's not about that I'm writing because only they will get benefited. Definitely there's a self-expression need over there, but there's a need you're fulfilling for the readers as well, right? And that's where the reader-centric lens comes into the scene. Okay. 3 reader questions we'll be answering here. Okay. The first one, so this question is coming from the reader. Suppose I'm your reader of the book. I'm saying to each one of you, you have a book on this topic. Why should I care about the book? Why should I care about reading this book? And what would be your answer? So answer this as if the reader is asking you the question, and then do share. We'll take a minute for each question.
You should care because the book will help you have a happier child, ergo a better relationship with your child. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. One answer came to me, you should care because you care for your child.
Heena,
Yes.
I would say, based on what I had shared earlier, if the reader asks, then I will tell that the book will help you to relate to yourself and probably not commit the same mistakes
Wonderful.
that I have done. So, yeah, that is what I would say.
Very interesting. How about others?
To leave a legacy.
Okay, very interesting.
I would say rather, I have experienced this. You experience this, and then you add something into that.
Okay, very interesting.
Don't believe me. Don't believe my experience, but what I have experienced. Whether it is right, there are so many scientific research are always proved by fact in all labs like this. Same result they will get in the same practical scientific lab results. But here it is totally different. I have experienced this. This is my truth. You test it and go ahead. Or put your truth. Make your own truth.
Yes, very interesting. Now you're getting clearer that here is my truth. What's your truth? Wonderful. Anyone else wants to share? The next question is, as a reader, I'm asking, what's in it for me? And that's the normal subconscious questions which happens in our mind even when we go to pick any book as a reader, right? And that's why we pick it. We are just answering it out aloud. So who would tell me what's in it for me for a reader?
For an action orientation, the tool, as I said, the neuro coaching tool, which I would give, that would be the takeaway, which would help them. In fact, it should, when I look back at it, it will help them not only in their professional lives, but also in their personal lives.
Okay. Okay. You can dig a bit deeper by chunking it down, that how it will help them in their professional life. Like maybe coming up with a specific objective or a specific benefit.
Could it be something like simple tricks to stressful days
Yes, interesting.
with your child?
Yes, yes. Or maybe, you know, making it more fun centric for them, if at all you're including a fun theme or something like that, or a light theme. Because parenting itself these days has become a huge question mark for parents.
Yeah.
And maybe something like, you know, how to have fun in stressful days, how to have fun with your child in stressful days.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. How about others? Do type your answers in the chat box. And third is very important one. Why you? So the first two talked about the USP of your book, unique selling point. Third is your USP. Why I should read you. And that will make you, in fact, that's an exercise I would suggest you to do every single day. Why should they read me? Write 3 reasons good about yourself, and you will see a lot of belief getting strengthened about that part when you write it down. These days I'm doing that, not for the writing part, for my book coaching part. I write 3 things. What are the 3 things good about my book writing coaching? And I write 3 different things every single day. Because most of the time we can answer why my book, but why me? We start comparing, अरे हाँ यार, why me? बहुत सारे तो हैं, इतने authors हैं. What would I bring up? But yes, you have your essence, and that's the time to claim it.
It just gives me an insight. This is very nice. In fact, writing 3 things. You know, how we write the gratitude journal, writing 5 things about, or 3 things about what you're grateful for. This will help tremendously. In fact, mujhe se therapeutically bhi, I'm just getting an insight to make it a tool, you know, to make them write 3 things, which I do generally. Ask them to write good things about themselves, so it helps them build their self-esteem as well.
Yeah, indeed.
We can put this column in the book as well. Why me?
Yeah, indeed. Because generally when we ask why me, जब भी problem आता है, why me यार? पर हम कभी भी अच्छे वाले part में we don't say that, you know, why I should be there, why me? Because I have walked that path, and now I would like to help you to heal with proven strategies. Yes, wonderful. Like when I asked this question to myself about my 4th book, the answer was like, because I've done the worst of the mistakes in writing my first book. My first book had a very shitty cover, but I was so desperate to get the book out there that I did not care about the publisher, and I did not know that the publisher would dupe me. That in fact, the books, some pages were printed upside down. And when the Amazon orders were going on, and few of my friends ordered and my husband's friends ordered, they said the book आया ही नहीं. And when I contacted the publisher, he was like, "नहीं, मैंने तो कर दिया है publish." And that was a huge turn down. In fact, first book is like your first baby, and that broke my heart like anything. I still haven't renovated that book. I took an oath that fine, मैं इसको वापस ठीक नहीं करूंगी. Let this be a reminder to me that, you know, I should have been patient, and let this be a reminder to the world as well. So next time when somebody, comes to me, that time I did not decide for the book writing, coaching and all that. I was just like, I'll help out people just like that. And I'll talk about this part, that how to choose a publisher, even if it is a self-publisher, how to choose that publisher nicely. And that was a very strong driving point when I wrote my fourth book, that likewise, the Janvi said that, or Joy said that the mistakes which I have done, I don't want you to repeat those mistakes. These are very silly mistakes, and sometimes in desperation we are like, okay, theek hai, publisher acha hoga, yeah, maybe okay, I just want to get this book out and jaldi mein kar diya, ya fir bahut slow kar rahe hain. So all these parts, I was like, so whatever mistakes I've been doing, at least they should become a stepping stones for others. Joy says, why you? B, it is A, it is authentic. B, it is relatable to others. C, it is language. Language I did not understand. What do you want to say with that?
A language that you can relate, means writing style. That's what I intended.
Acha, acha. Okay, okay. Another why you for me was, I'm just giving you ideas so you can think about your why you. The way I write obviously is the way nobody else can write. That's a very common one for each one of us. Nobody can write like us, right? And another one was that the way I simplify things is something which I understood over a period of time, because in my college days also, end time पे सभी लोग आते थे, बोलते थे ये वाला concept जल्दी से समझा दे. Somewhere I got a hint कि maybe I'm good at explaining things. So that's why that I will make it simplified for you. So what are your why use statements? Yes, Sienna, it will give you an insight, and start thinking about it. At least 2, 3 you bring out in the session itself. I'm sure 2, 3 to aram se you will bring out.
So, may I?
Yes, sure.
So like you said, usually we say why you when there's a problem, right? And when you ask this why you, I got stuck on the why isn't it, what is in it for me? And, typically we've heard it enough. What is in it for me? Even we've been in the corporate world and you've heard it more than at least I would have liked to have heard it, because I think I have other thoughts, on why that's not very effective in a lot of things. I would leverage the what is in it for me from the reader's perspective to answer the why you. So reflecting back on whatever I would have promised the reader, or what I'm saying, this is what I'll do, then I'm questioning myself, where am I the authority on that, or where is my credibility that so maybe both can be seen as, I don't know what the right word is, supplementary, complementary, whatever word you want to use, but kind of like two peas in a pod that need to be there to balance each other, to validate each other, to and maybe when I say why you, maybe if I say, like you said, I've explained and simplified. So then do I go back and see, am I really giving those simple tricks or not? That's what I had said for mine. What if it also helps me verify it. Actually, I think it's while you're just, it's a very simple framework. I think it has a lot of layers if one wants to go that path, and will help further in thinking. That's how it's connected in my head right now.
Yes, yes. And the strongest why you, I guess in your part, though, it's a monopoly. I don't think so. There are many books on 2-year-old emotional education. So in your case, though, it's a monopoly. Like you can even claim that, one of the first ever or few of those books which are there that, as far as I know, like I haven't come across, although I don't read so many parenting books, but yes, I keep on browsing so many books every single day for titles and this and that. So I haven't come across any title which says that it's a book for 2-year-old emotional education. That's the biggest USP for your book, and for you as well, like that, you've thought about this.
Yes, you can put the first of its kind,
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you can put that in the book also. That it's first ever book, I guess, especially in India, though I don't think so. At least you can claim that.
Yeah.
First
Yeah. And the unique thing is I'm not a parent.
Oh, wow. That's, see, now you're coming up with wonderful ideas.
Yeah.
I've seen that,
Yeah.
today only I was watching something on YouTube by Sister Shivani. She's not a parent, but there was this whole session about, how to, if doctors will tell you about how to take care of the child's body inside your womb, but nobody will tell you about how to take care of child's soul inside your womb. And so she was talking about that. And I was like, how wonderfully she's explaining despite not being a parent.
Correct. Thank you.
She
Most
has a family, no, I think. She does have children and she stays in Delhi.
Acha,
Yeah,
mujhe
she's so there
unmarried.
are these two types of Brahma Kumaris. One is that Samarpit and one is Grahast, whatever.
Acha,
ये morning to evening वाले हैं, मतलब.
okay.
What I have, I may be wrong.
Okay.
जितना मुझे
I
पता.
thought she's unmarried. That's what I thought.
No. She earns a bomb every month.
Oh,
Yeah. She has a huge. आप देखो उनका social media following. I mean the marketing next level it is next level.
Yes,
Of course,
yes,
it's all very good, no
yes,
doubt.
yes.
So she has a huge business investment in that. 20-30 lakhs is her turnover every month.
Wow, marvelous. She's married, but she doesn't have children. Okay, I was not aware. I was not aware. Okay, just give me 1 minute. And I'll be back.
Sure. Please. We can take this as a bio break actually.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You guessed it right. He was at bio break. Okay, so we have covered the phases of writing. And now we move towards the consistency code. We have talked about this. There's an easy, simple formula of 3C. If you keep that in mind, it would be very easy for you to, just get the going, to break the, block, and to get into the flow always. If any of that is missing, you just take, if any of, blockage is coming, maybe you're stuck in writing or something like that, just see which of the C is missing in there. Okay, the first one is C for calendar. If it's not on your calendar, it's not going to be there. So fix up a slot. Maybe I don't fix a slot because having this kiddo with me, I keep it open. If there is no session, I keep my writing time or my work time very open. It might be sometimes very early in the morning in the wee hours. Sometimes it's late in the night. So I keep it open that way. But for those who can fix up a slot, maybe for 15 minutes only. It's not about the duration, it's about the focus in that time. So if it is the focus happens in lesser time, fine, but that put it on your calendar, put it on your everyday list. Okay, I will sit for 15 days, but I will sit 15 minutes, but I will sit. So set that up. Like in case of Haruki Murakami, I'm just telling you the example, but I'm seriously not expecting this from you, or neither I do that 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. But they are like, they are into that zone now. Their whole profession is writing. And that's where the whole game shifts. Because if you are completely into writing and working like 24/7 like Haruki Murakami or any other author, Chetan Bhagat and all, then your time slots definitely will change. Next is cue. These are just to understand your brain better, that your brain works on cues, right? When we get up, we brush because there's a cue that, the cue is coming. And after brushing, the next cue is for maybe tea. For some people, it is workout. So most of us have read Atomic Habits, right? And in Atomic Habits, the same cue works there. Like if you want to work out initially, just to get you the cue, get up, keep your shoes or, sports shoes there, or you keep your dress there, so that you get up and you don't get an excuse in your mind ke abhi jaake dress udhar se lana hoga, ya, I'll have to. So keep your things ready. It might be a coffee mug, it might be a playlist, it might be a candle. For me, it's aromas which work very wonderfully. So I lit up something, sometimes incense stick, sometimes it's a candle, which I do. And that's how I get my brain this cue that, it's time to focus on writing. So far, what things have been your cue? Anything which you have kept, or it's like random as of now? Random. Okay.
Random.
Okay. But it will work for NLP practitioners, especially. You can anchor your very high creative state to a playlist. Generally, I do it. Sometimes I do it with the creative frequencies, which you'll get online also on YouTube. Frequency for creative ideas and all that. So I play that and I do my work. So that can be another part where you keep one single frequency and, play it every time, and your mind will get into that zone.
There was one mantra which I used to play when my son used to study for the 10th standard.
Okay.
I forgot the name only. Shram something. I'll say that. I'll put it later on.
Was it a Bija mantra?
Which mantra?
Bija mantra, Chakra.
No, Saraswati
mantra. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Neela Saraswati mantra. Yes, yes.
So he eventually learned it, and I would just keep playing it because I had that experience 9th, 10th May. He was very distracted. And वो बैठा रहता था घंटों, but the productivity was, I mean, the results coming out were like not so. I just told him, you sit for 1 hour, but just it's okay as long as you focus that much.
Yeah. Neela Saraswati mantra is my favorite as well.
Yeah, it works.
Yes, wonderfully. In fact, I learned Saraswati Reiki for that only.
Wow.
Some focus for him.
Yeah, wow, amazing.
Okay, next is the third C, which is community. And that's where you have already seen the power of community in today's session itself. We are exchanging so many ideas, and that's why I noticed this when I was first appointed. Those who know Mernosh sir, his TTT batch, when I was first appointed as an official book writing coach. And before that, I hadn't conducted any book group writing. I was taking one-on-ones all this while. But that was my very first experience, and I realized the power of the group energy. Similarly, we were all ideating with each other, suggesting each other, and that was a very beautiful way to connect with each other, help each other. So it was not just they learning from me, we all were learning from each other. And that was a beautiful experience. After that, I got a breakthrough and I started my own group writings after that. So, oh yes, wonderful.
Yeah, we've done our NLP master training, all the levels together.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we've been together. A lot of trainings we've done together. So
awesome.
Very close friends, very good friends. Yeah.
Wonderful. So that's the power of community. In fact, in his community, if you see, like there are Wednesday sessions where we all connect for NLP. So that's and I've got a lot of I would say, I guess NLP has become my second family, I would say. And this kind of community is there in Writernaama. Like we all are connected, and I see that magic of having that community, because I've started believing more than the coach, you learn from each other as well. And that's
absolutely. The presence itself is very therapeutic.
Yes. Absolutely. When you listen to others' experiences, and it gives you a lot many ideas. It's the power is underrated actually. Sometimes people are like कि अरे बातचीत हो रहा है यहाँ पे क्या सुनने का, but actually उस बातचीत में बहुत essence होता है.
Yes, true. So like when I mean, just to take a quick thing, like when I just popped out of the idea for Cheryl, I mean, I've had my NLP clients, of course, when I'm taking NLP batches, they're like, you share so selflessly. I said, it's okay. I mean, I believe in abundance. So there is nothing, किसी का कुछ कम नहीं होता है. It's okay. There's enough and abundance for everybody.
Absolutely.
So once you believe this, there's so much of peace and contentment. कुछ नहीं घटता. It only multiplies.
Exactly.
So
That's
in fact, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Heena. I interrupted you.
No, please say.
No, so what you just said, I remember so I just exited a corporate job after 9 years, right? And a very senior person, the person who hired me once, when he was exiting, and I was ideating on how he could set up his training coaching practice, and he says, you know what your problem is? This is the words, and I laughed, the note on his face. And he says, you give away your ideas for free, you know. People are making money off your ideas. And I said, well, they are smart. I'm not, because I have the ideas. But honestly, I get what you mean, right?
Yeah, true.
But then that's the perspective, how others see it.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. I've had this experience as well. People have taken up my ideas and built great businesses, but ठीक है यार, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, thank you.
Most welcome.
Yeah, Heena, you were also saying something. Please continue now.
Yes, I was saying this, that sometimes it's not a marathon. Writing a book is not a marathon. And the reason why people look at it as a marathon, look at it as a big mountain. And that's where, the blockages come, or the self-doubt comes and all that, because standing in front of a marathon mountain versus, standing for a little bit of slope, that's different. Little bit of there's a little bit of slope which you have to go up. So that's different.
There's overwhelm which sets in, actually.
Yes. So similarly, you can do the sprints, and that's what the whole writing game is about. If you remember the sprints, tiny sprints, and they do the magic. The book Compound Effect is completely about that. The power of compound effect, that, tiny things, and look at the bigger picture, but you remember that bigger picture is made up of those smaller pieces. So if these three things are there, remember this 3C formula. I'm sure this 3C will take care of calendar and queue, and then having a community, or even having a friend where you can talk about writing.
And please don't let it be ChatGPT.
Yes, absolutely not. You can ideate, take ideas.
Yes.
That you do, but writing from ChatGPT, everything looks so same. There have been few people in my batches where, because of the lack of time, they told me upfront that we have come to you, we are understanding things, but we don't have time. We'll write it with ChatGPT only. We are telling it in advance to you. You still have to edit it. Now, what would I edit in ChatGPT? It's same. Either I change the complete language, it would be rewriting from my side. The structure it gives nicely only. If they want to go with that structure, though I used to give them inputs that, this paragraph can be above and this down, but nothing beyond that. Because every 2-3 people were there, all 3 books were looking almost same, because all were written by ChatGPT. Same kind of words, same kind of rhythms and sentences and everything. So it was looking as if, the author loses the way they write.
Right.
ChatGPT will never
The
be able.
touch is gone.
Yes, and people were saying कि हम तो उसे program कर देते हैं वैसा. Still, it's a machine. It won't write like you, and your writing will keep on evolving. My writing voice in my first book versus now, it's different. And I'm proud of that. ChatGPT cannot inculcate everything. कि first book का writing voice से लेकर अभी तक का writing voice, even if I upload my books there.
No, but I'll tell you, maybe just my experience, I just would like to share. Suppose I want to, now that of course my ChatGPT handle knows me, right? It knows my profile, it knows the way I would like to put things. So suppose I want to put maybe any random thing. Maybe it's a chalo, I want to congratulate somebody or something, and I really want to put a nice post on LinkedIn for something. Just giving a random example. It will give me exactly the way I would put it. It would not give me just phrases from Oxford or like
Yeah.
it will not just give me because now it probably has understood my
Style.
use of words, my style, my some that affection, that warmth has to come in. It will give me. So this
Yeah.
happened once when I had shared a blog of mine with ChatGPT. That based on this, can you give me maybe can you understand my writing style?
Oh yeah, interesting.
So
So what happens here is this I learned from a coach who is specialized in, I forgot his name, Nicole Coleman, something, I forgot his name, but yes. So he said a very nice line. If you cannot articulate well, you cannot automate it. Till the time you know how to articulate it, then you will be able to automate it well. So maybe whenever you said that, ChatGPT gave me exactly the way I would have written it, you were able to articulate it well. And that's where people feel at. And these days, that's why prompt engineering is coming into the scene and all that, learn from the prompts and all. But still, you make your own prompt, and if you are able to articulate it well, if you are able to express it well, this is how I want it, this is what I don't want, this is what you include, this is the kind of language you should avoid. And when you can articulate it well, it gives you the good results.
correct.
But yes, again, the usage of words would be same. That I have observed, that there's a certain set of words which ChatGPT uses. It's not that I don't use them, but I use much more words beyond that.
Like sometimes, to be very honest here, I do use it for my training modules and all. When I really need a quick structure or a quick, at least a rough idea, then I redo it completely. But like for a quick fix, and I'll tell you where I use it. Honestly, with a hand on my heart, I'll tell you. जब मुझे पता है when people are just asking for modules, madam अपना module भेज दो. I just ChatGPT उठाया, copy paste, 15 minutes में the model is sent. Now go have checks with it, because then they make their internal trainers do it. That's what I mean.
Exactly.
So I'm like, ठीक है, करो अभी तुम.
I use it to promote, like if I will be promoting a book writing program in my community, I take a write-up from ChatGPT. These are the things I'm providing. These are the part. This is what I want to focus on. I want to make it, suppose, FOMO-centric. I want to make it fun-centric. I want to make them understand the importance of writing. So it gives me that way. So only promotional messages, I use ChatGPT a lot because I want to cut time short over there.
Exactly.
My writing would be there in my book. My writing would be there in my coachings. That's there. But there I want to save time. So it's not like that I've completely banished that. But yes, I have a strict rule about not using it in my book.
Yeah. So one of my friends, she's my best friend rather, and she like we're really correct. We're like mirror images of each other. That our lives have also been very parallel though. So on her birthday, I just wished her, and she sent me through ChatGPT. She gave an amazing prompt. I literally called her up and said, "Tumne kya diya prompt?" So she sent me Akashic records of her and me.
Oh wow.
And she actually, what she sent me was mind blowing. We could connect and resonate to every word, which was so surprising.
Wow.
मैंने फटाफट उसे prompt किया and I put it for my husband and me.
Wow, marvelous. Very interesting.
Yeah, but seriously, every word of it was true. Seriously.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
So use AI, but with nice articulation. Okay, how to make your book stand out? There are a few things which you, if can take care of, your book will definitely stand out. By standing out, I'm not saying कि एक ही दिन में bestseller बन जाएगी, but yes, it will stand out. It will catch the right people's eye for sure. And that's what I take care of, especially in terms of, I don't judge a book especially by its cover. Mostly I judge the book by its title. So मेरे लिए title बहुत important होता है. In fact, all my 40+ books which I've mentored over, each one has a very beautiful different title. Few of them which I remember, like Teji's book was there, and Angels Arrived, and the subtitle was In My Life. One was What Do You Do When Life Will Call You? There are many others, but right now these are coming to. Nehnosh Sir's book was there, Thoughtfully Yours. Another one is coming up very soon. And that's also very interesting name. And so titles are something, it's like your title, you will be called by that. And that's very important. So for me, if you ask me that what apart from the writing that matters in the book, I would say title. So having a catchy title, I tell you several ways in my book writing where, you can have a title which is NLP driven also, so that it catches the right people. It is also the reader's psychology point of view, hypnotic writing point of view. I tell you all the rules and parts over there, which help you to create a very wonderful title. And साथ में a swaggy subtitle, which all again catches the reader's eye. Sometimes some books go without subtitles. Recently, there was one which was a fiction not made for each other. It did not need a subtitle, so we just skipped it. The name itself is telling a lot, so it was like, okay, let's skip the subtitle. The P and P awareness of marketing. Do you know any guesses what the P and P can be?
Publisher price
Okay.
and price.
Okay. Two P's are there.
Pricing
Publisher
and
and price.
promotion.
Sorry.
Price.
Okay.
Price.
And
Hey, Neelkanji was saying something.
Presence.
presence. Okay. Neelkanji, what were you saying?
Price and promotion.
Price and promotion.
So
Okay.
marketing वाला बोल.
हाँ, क्योंकि वो marketing word आ गया है ना.
हाँ.
So basically problems and pain का awareness.
वो तो सोचा ही.
Problems and pleasure, sorry. So problems, some people, NLP practitioners know the rule very well, towards and away from.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes you talk about your book in terms of, do you have this problem? And sometimes you say that, do you want to get solve this problem? Or do you want
Correct.
to be successful?
Yeah.
So having that crystal clear clarity about both the pillars of your book. What is the towards about your book? What are the problems it's going to solve? And what is the pleasure it's going to give? It would be interconnected. Obviously, the problem it's going to solve would be the solution it would be giving. But still, the human mind works that way. Some people will read your book because it's telling about a parenting problem. Some people will read your book because it's making the bond better between the parent and the child. Next is the cover. Having a catchy cover really matters, and people judge the book by its cover. That's a saying goes by. So a cover.
But that's a fact.
Yes, yes.
That is a fact.
As I say, cover के अलावा मुझे title click करना चाहिए. Like I bought many books just because of the title.
Title.
Just
Correct.
in my bookshelf. One of the book was its title ही ये था, don't buy this book. And I was like, I am gonna buy this book.
That's exactly why they want to.
So title is very important for me. Maybe cover is a bit dull, that's fine. But if the title is not clicking to me, I'll not pick up the book. Yes, PNP is a good example of Teji's book. Yes, yes. Okay, next is knowing your chapter hooks. By chapter hook is what I mean. It's not the starting of the book. It's not the starting of the chapter. Chapter hook is something which remains in the reader's mind. Sometimes you might have seen gray area में एक one line highlight रहता है, gray box के अंदर. Sometimes it's that way, or sometimes inverted commas में something which is highlighted, which author wants to emphasize on, right? Or sometimes we remember a part of the chapter. Okay, this was either a new insight for me, or this is not the way I had looked at this part. All that comes under hook. What extra or what unique, in what unique way, I would say, what unique way are you delivering the same thing in your chapter hook? So that is another part which, if we take care of, every chapter becomes a page turner. Next is understanding reader's psychology. Why reader is dropping your book, why reader is picking your book, why they like this part and not, suppose reader says that I like chapter 1, 2, 3 more and not the 4th, 5th that much, but 6, 7th, 8th बहुत अच्छा था. What are the reasons? You have used the same language, you have used the same book, is about the same concept. Sometimes it is, the reason might be that, the balance between why of the book, why it is, why this topic is important, the what of the book, what the topic is about, what the overall concept is about, the how of the book, all three are there. But the reader, that reader might be looking for more of the hows, right? And they did not connect with the book because hows kam the, ya fir what kam tha. Like for me, if I understand why this book is important to me, या why this topic is important to me, I'll read the book. For me, उसके बाद कोई भी how आए, कैसा भी how आए, I will read it. Okay, I would not even pay attention to कि what समझ में आना चाहिए, but मेरे लिए why is very important. I'm a why sort of person. कि why I should read that book, right? For some people, it would be if it is giving me the answer of how, I already know why. But if it is giving me answer of how, it would be great for me. I would connect with the book. So different readers have different kind of reading preferences, which are very subconsciously driven, right? For some readers, long sentences are very dreary. They just, they just feel drained out if long sentences are there. They put the book aside. For some readers, the poetry sort of writing which ChatGPT does most of the times, if you give it to write a chapter or rewrite a chapter, wo ek line ka ek line, then ek line, then ek line. This is how ChatGPT writes. And then you have to again give it a prompt ke aise nahi likhne ka hai. You write it in a paragraph like a book is written, and then it writes again, right? So some readers have allergy to that. Ke, I don't want to read that. Or some readers find it very easy. Ke, oh wow, one line padni patafat ho jayega. Right? So you cannot please every reader here, but yes, you understand that where your book connects more. Suppose it is for children, then one line part is good. In fact, it should be a better one to implement there. So understanding that reader's psychology, there are many other things which you deeply understand, how to include towards and away from in your sentences, and many other concepts which you can think about and explain that part. Understanding not reader is I guess Dr. Sukhnit talked about that, including some frameworks, some visuals as well. Sometimes, some graphs, some graphics, and these days AI does everything. So you don't need to sit and draw it and then convert it into that, and all that AI does. But knowing where it is needed and where we can bridge the gap between the visuals, or just the visual can do the thing and the text is not needed, or a mind map will do the thing. So taking care of that as well. And then having a very strong, sturdy editing done over there, because a book definitely needs reiterations in editing. That's the very important part and undeniable part. Next is book formatting. Without formatting, you might have seen many books which are self-published and unka bahut bada letters hota hai, right? Maybe that is done intentionally or unintentionally. I'm not going there. Point here is that bahut chota, like I don't read classics because bahut chota font hota hai, like in paperbacks. It's very small, so it's very heavy on my eyes. So first reason, so the moment I open the book and I'm like, itna chota kaun padega aur itna paas mein lines hai. So I will not read classics. So wahin pe mera turn off ho jata hai. First, I'm a very visual kind of reader. The book has to be, very sorted in a way ki font padhne layak ho, but itne bhi bade nahi ho ki it's looking like, just to fill up the pages, वैसा भी नहीं हो. So I'm, apart from a book coach, like when I read a book, these things turn me off or turn me on to, read the book continuously. So your book formatting plays a very important role. All the good books which are sold in good numbers, have a look at them and see how beautifully they are typeset. बराबर का margin छोटा है, font is readable, not too long, not too big, not too small. All these things are taken care in the typesetting, although it's not part of the author to do, but you can learn it very easily. It's, as I said, softwares are there. And after bridging, any idea what after bridging can be?
Forming a connection between the chapters, or maybe just a run through, some string connecting everything together.
Okay. Focus on the word after and maybe you'll get a hint.
What next? Like
what next?
Yes, what next?
Going forward, what you...
Yes, your book is one part, but how are you ending it? Are you giving, these days, if you see James Clear, Atomic Habits, there's a barcode, you go to the barcode and there are further things linked over there. So make your book a business card over there. It's not just a book. You suppose the book by Dr. Sukhmeet can be a stepping stone towards her programs. Okay. Maybe there's a leadership program, there's a coaching, there's a conscious part coaching, somewhere she can connect that part. Maybe first step still would be after scanning the barcode, they will still go to a freebie part where something is offered in free. And after that, there's an upscaling. And that's how you can make money out of book also. Maybe your book doesn't make money, but what your book sells definitely will make money. Okay, so after bridging will help you a lot, because many a times people are like, books से तो पैसा मिलने नहीं वाला, इतना time कौन लगाएगा इसको लिखने में, आज लिख देंगे.
No, that is exactly, in fact, the agenda which was there in my mind, that book and books is related, a complete framework, uska workshop, and just making it my signature workshop.
Wonderful, wonderful. You can give a shot to 1 to million or book to million, one book million methods. One book million methods करके एक website है, and there you go, and I guess 2-3,000 का there's something like a PDF which they give and an audio book. It's completely about that, how to make a structure of a book where you earn millions, where kind of making a funnel.
One book million methods, you said?
Yes, one book million methods.
Thank you so much. Sure.
Most welcome. And it's a, I would not say it's in trend, but yes, now this is giving another kind of oomph to people that, okay, now the book writing makes sense, because it's okay. It's okay if you're coming here to think that, book should make money. Because sometimes we are like, or yaar, creative cheez se paisa banana hai, and all those things. There are different kind of people, but now people are like, okay, if I'm writing, what if I can earn money from that also? Because
no, for me, it's, of course, money is one of the factors. I will not say I don't want money. Of course, I want money. But my main agenda was, I am talking the same thing everywhere.
Understood. But everywhere, because visual learners are there, they will be attracted in a different way.
Correct.
Yes, understood. Yes. So there's a ladder where it's definitely not just about earning money. It's about the exposure you're giving, the value you're providing to people. And money is the out product.
True, absolutely.
Yes. So that was about understanding the book at the basic level. I have a program which I will be talking about now, which is coming up soon. And it is about write your book in 45 days. I've included 45 days considering the festive session. Also, I've kept the burner of 15 days because festivals are there. So it's starting on 14th of September, and which is Sunday. So it would be happening, classes would be happening on Sundays, 3 p.m. And total sessions would be 6 sessions. I increase the number of sessions. Sometimes I decrease depending on the kind of response I'm getting, in terms of, I do live reviews also. Like when you have written the chapter, we all discuss it together. So that that also is a kind of learning. So considering that part, sometimes I increase 1-2 sessions also. Okay. What all it will include right from the zero book ideation to complete ideation. If you have, you don't have, I start from the scratch. The title creation, the final title selection. Then there are 3 cover concepts, 3 cover designs which are given by me. I'm not a designer. I just do it for fun. I do it with Canva, and most of the time 80% people select from there only. And these days AI is also there. So I take help of AI and I make covers, and many a times it clicks from there only. If not, I tell them the right people where they can go and outsource and get it done. Okay. Next is, there is research guidance. As I say, writing and research goes hand in hand in my book writing coaching. There are writing flow hacks where I tell you, and most of it you have known, but there are few more which I will be telling you how to have that writing flow there. There would be writing techniques, definitely. There will be editorial review from my side, which will be happening. It's the editing. There would be typesetting tutorial from my side. I'll teach you how to do the typesetting there. And then there are additional benefits where I will be hand-holding you in the publishing. Okay. Though Notion Press, as I said, they will be charging you for listing your book on Amazon. That amount would be separate. That ranges from 3,000 to 4,000 to 11,000, depends on what package you're selecting. And so that is separate according to the package which you are taking. Plus, since I'm a Reiki master, the Reiki for all chakras in every session would be included for the writing alignment and the belief change process, which would not just help you in writing, but overall, as you know, Reiki is the spiritual healing. And energetic work for creativity, where I will talk from the energetics part as well, that how writing is not just a skill, but also a calling, and how to tap into that calling, not just for your book, but also for your overall writing. Okay, and the investment for that is 17,000, which is a regular price. And as there is always a discount in every program. So early bird is 14,444. And if you're booking today, then it would be booking till 30th, I guess. Yes. So by 30th, if you're paying, it would be 13,333. And the program is starting from 14th of September. So you're most welcome. And the similar way, the kind of energy exchanges in group is happening. And that's how beautifully we unfolded and connected with each other and realized the power of writing. In fact, I would say power of healing through writing. So that's what the program is about. And I thank you, each one of you. In fact, as I say, I learn more every time when I come into the sessions. And thanks for those beautiful learnings and being here and staying connected and present. And anything from your side, any questions, any sharings, most welcome before we wrap up.
For the coaching, so it's coinciding with I'm doing the master NLP with Mernosh.
Okay.
So that's starting on the 7th, and those are also on Sundays.
Sunday, 7 o'clock. Yes.
So how long are your sessions? And because I need to think about whether
is 1.5 hours to max, including question and answers, 2 hours.
Hours. Okay. And would you repeat this again? I mean, if I don't look at this option.
Yes. The batches keep on coming. This is the 4th batch.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Most welcome. Thank you.
So it goes on for 6 weeks, no?
Yeah, 6 weeks. Plus, I'm keeping the buffer because of the festive season that maybe people are not able to complete that. So 15, we'll consider 2 months this time.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siana. Joe.
And nice knowing all of you also, the others as well.
Yes.
In country and
stay connected in the group. There will be
yes, definitely.
Which will
keep posting them. I will definitely join one someday for sure.
Yes.
I'll see if I can do it right away.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.